why take the risk of buying a stock in a company that's not worth very much? It's a gamble that you can break the rules of the stock market. And it's hard to break the rules of the stock market. There are people who don't want you to break those rules. There are people that like those rules. Those people are the SEC, the Congress, the government. They don't want you to do this. They will stop you from doing this somehow. I don't know how, by the way, because it seems like a pretty good mousetrap. But, why do it, I guess, is the question.
So the same thing happened 2 months ago with nickel in London. Did you follow that, Enrique?
Of course, yes.
So there was a big short squeeze in nickel because the Chinese tycoon was short, I think, 50 or 40 billion worth of nickel, and it did not have enough to produce at that point. So nickel went up 250% that day,
and they canceled the trades.
Yeah, LME. The name is London Metals Exchange. It's based in London, but the funny thing is, it's owned by a Hong Kong exchange. So not even London owned and based. So it's backed and owned by Hong Kong exchanges, which has influence from these Chinese people. The same guy who lost 20 billion, quote unquote, in paper gains, he went to the parent company and said, "Oh, I made a mistake. Let's cancel all the trades." And they're like, "Oh, okay, let's cancel all."
Yeah. So I don't know what's.
Everyone who sold or bought at that price lost money because they canceled all the trades.
That I think your point is completely right, which is that the rules of markets can change based on what happens to the markets and the participants. So, like, there's nothing to stop the SEC from delisting GameStop just to fucking delist it and be like, no, this is bullshit. The market's broken. Let's fuck this.
If the stock is up like 50,000%, which I think it will ever happen, they can just say, "Oh,
they'll this
for a month and see what's going on." So
they'll cancel those trades.
Yeah, so it's weird though.
So I think trying to fuck with the stock market is just a bad idea. Like, I've done it. You're really trying to break a system that's bigger than you. And what's interesting about the GameStop experiment, which is what I would call it, because we don't know how it's going to end. But if you try to fuck with the stock market, it'll sort of fuck back. And I think you have to be really careful about how you want to go about this. And again, it's a hive mind. So I think the biggest problem with GameStop is maybe even less so the kind of like infinite money scheme that's trying to take place, but the lack of awareness that, like, for example, let's say Gergovin and I, all of a sudden, we want to do this thing with GameStop, right? Gergovin puts $5 million in GameStop and certificates his shares, meaning they're no longer in DWAC. He can't trade them in a stock brokerage account, right? He basically has a certificate in his drawer, and he's putting his certificate in a drawer, and he's saying, I'm not ever going to sell this, okay? And he buys the stock for, what's the current stock price? 150?
Yeah, $150.
Okay, so you do that, and I say, you know what? Good show, mate. I really think this is a good idea. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm buying $5 million of GameStop stock. Let's say it's $50 million. $50 million of GameStop stock for $200. And then another guy does the same thing for $300. And let's say it goes to $5,000. Eventually, Gergovin's going to take the stock certificate out of his desk and say, you know what? Thank you guys. I've had a good time. Whether it's due to a loss in another trade or just due to, let's say he wants to donate his money or he wants to give it away, it's time to go, right? Because the stock's up a lot. I mean, what are you going to do? I'm not going to hold this thing forever.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, each and every one in the stock market is here to make money. That's their end goal.
Yeah, at enough percentages, enough 10x's, 20x's, you're going to sell because you have your goals. I have my goals. I didn't promise I'd be in this thing forever. So I think all the people in the world can certificate their GameStop and take it off the stock market and make it unavailable for shorting and this and that. But at enough of a price, say 2,000 or 3,000, they will sell again. And I think there's an underestimation of what that price is. A lot of people will sell at 200 and before it can even go up enough. Now, again, it's a cool idea, and maybe what happens is GameStop basically just goes private. And that's all well and good. But again, I don't want to play this game in essence, this experiment, this video game with the stock market. Like, stock market is fine for me without this nonsense. Could you do this to another stock? Maybe. Could you do this to GameStop? Sure, why not? But ultimately, I think the goal is to make money with the methods and tools we're comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with this at all.
Yeah, they're trying to do this with RTBX. So RTBX is Redbox. These guys are a DVD rental business.
I remember Redbox, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the plan. The funny thing is, the stock is getting bought out for 70 cents, and the stock is at $12 right now. So in 3 4 months, when the deal closes, for each share you own, you will get paid 70 cents. And right now it's at $12, and they're still buying and calling for a squeeze. So
It's what happened with
this is just upside.
it happened with Hertz, right? Hertz had a similar situation. So I think, though, listen, I think that the Wall Street Bets movement is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I want everybody to make money too. And I don't think hacking the stock market, basically, which is what this is the way to do it. I think prudent investing is the way to do it. But people in Wall Street Bets don't want to do prudent investing. At least a lot of them don't. Some of them do, of course. Um, there's a lot of people in Wall Street Bets now, so you can't speak for all of them. But the people in the GameStop thing, like that's not prudent investing. That's a get rich quick scheme.